Hey guys, good morning. I'm super glad to see you guys. My name is Elizabeth. I'm your instructor. You're in a Pilates inspired fitness class, and today is foam roll Friday, so that's pretty cool. So we'll take that foam roller and we'll hold it in front of us. Elbows tucked back into the waist. Reach those arms forward, one knee into tabletop, and switch, and switch, and switch. Continue this simple move. We'll begin to warm up your body. I'd like to take this opportunity to request of you to keep your workout with me today pain-free. So that means, as always, comfortably uncomfortable is okay, but pain is not. So anytime you're feeling something like shooting pain, stabbing pain, joint pain, structural pain, anything like that, please stop what you're doing and do something different so those feelings go away. I want you guys to feel better after class, not worse, and I need your help with that. So please take care of your sweet body and work in a pain-free range of motion and a safe range of motion. So if we come into any balance challenges, just make sure that you're feeling safe. Okay, guys, breathing for 3 and 2 and 1, come to center. Let's take that foam roller. We'll hold it straight out in front of us, fingertips on either side. Then let's bring that left knee into tabletop. Left knee in tabletop. Begin to twist to one side and center, and the other side and center. Continue taking a bit of a balance challenge, although you guys are making this look super easy. If your gaze travels over your foam roller, it will be more challenging than if you look straight forward. For 2 and 1, come to center. Keep that knee lifted, reach that foam roller up overhead, and then let's lean to the right, up to center, lean to the left, up to center, continue. Looking good. For 2 and 1, come to center and lower everything down. Good job. Let's take that left knee and we'll bend it, placing those toes down. Take the foam roller to the thigh and just kind of massage that thigh up, giving that quadriceps area a little bit of love. That feels surprisingly good, huh? Yeah, so we'll roll these guys out a little bit more, but we'll just spend a little time here. For 2 and 1, let's come to center. Okay, reach that foam roller straight out in front. Then let's bring the right knee into tabletop and begin to twist to one side and center, and the other side. Center, continue alternating from side to side. If you are joining me on YouTube, I'd like to thank you for doing so. I am glad that you're here today. I know there's a lot of really fabulous Pilates videos on YouTube, so I'm super glad that you landed on mine. All right, for 3 and 2 and 1, come to center, take that foam roller overhead, lean to one side, up to center, over to the other, whoop, and continue. And breathe. Again, you guys look fabulous. It's interesting when I go to a new studio and teach balance work, and we haven't been working on it, and maybe it's not part of their regular Pilates practice. And come to center, lower that down. I'll finish in a moment. Take the foam roller, place it in front of you. One hand on top, other hand on top. Take a few steps back, and then lean forward, framing the ears with the biceps. And then gently rock onto those toes and then those heels. Continue using that foam roller as leverage to create more space between the bones in your back, in that spinal area. This feels really good. For 3 and 2 and 1, and then softness in the knees, roll up to a standing position. Okay, guys, then keep that foam roller in front of you. Let's place the left hand onto the foam roller with the right hand onto the hip. So like this, I'm just doing a different angle so you can see me a little better. All right, guys, and then taking a little step back, let's begin to come bouncing onto that left leg, kicking that right leg back in space. And breathe. Maybe if you'd like to, you can take that hand off of the foam roller for a balance challenge, reaching both hands back behind you. Maybe if you want a little more, you can reach one arm forward, and then finally, if you want more, you can reach both arms forward. I am not going to do that, but you're welcome to if that feels good for your body. For 3 and 2, yeah, you guys look amazing. And 1, and come to center. Woo, well done. Okay, and then we'll do that on the other side. So we'll take, let's see. Yeah, so we'll take the right foot and kick it back, bringing the foam roller over to the right side, placing the left hand on the hip to begin with, and move forward. And then if you feel safe, you can reach both arms back behind. And then if you want more, you can reach one arm forward, or maybe even both arms if that feels good for you. Again, really impressed everyone with your balance. Breathing for 3, loving it. And 2, and 1, and come back up to center. Good job. Let's take this foam roller. I forgot to massage out to the other thigh. So let's take that right leg, step it in front of us just a little, and just give that thigh some love. So what I was saying before is students who haven't worked with me or another instructor on balance for a while, when I go and sub at other studios, sometimes I'll cue for balance exercises that my students do with no problem. And the newer students are struggling with it quite a bit. And it just goes to show how quickly the balance improves when we practice it. All right, guys, for 2, and 1, and come to center. All right, we'll do that forward fold stretch again. So placing that foam roller out in front of you, one hand on top, other hand on top. Take a few steps back and reach those fingertips forward. And then this time, guys, let's rock onto the toes and then the heels. And notice how in doing so, that foam roller is moving forwards and backwards. And just enjoy that. Oh, my back just popped, felt so good. Woo, for 3, and 2, and 1, find stillness and softness in the knees. And again, let's roll back up to that standing position. Good job. Then we'll take the foam roller and we'll place it over to the right, reaching that left arm up and over. Just feel the side body stretch. And we did a version of this earlier, holding onto the foam roller, but notice how perhaps you can come further into the stretch with the support of the foam roller. Oh, feels really good. For 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. Keep that foam roller where it is, and then let's turn away from the foam roller, placing all 10 fingertips onto the foam roller. And then, guys, reach that foam roller away from you, and use that as leverage to really open that heart area. Yeah, and just feel this and breathe, stretching those muscles across the chest, which, as you know, is so important to help with that more correct posture. And you know that because I tell you all the time. And breathe. Oh, it feels so good. Feeling that stretch in the arms and the chest. I don't know about you guys, but I was a little sore in that area after Wednesday's class. For 3, and 2, and then slowly release. And we'll take that foam roller over to the left side, and then we'll take that right arm, reach it up and over. Yep, feeling that terrific stretch again. Ooh. Maybe take a few breaths. Breathing. So I have a very minor scoliosis, but it's been quite bothersome throughout the years. But at any rate, so these side body stretches for some people with scoliosis are really uncomfortable. So with the support, if any, and I think someone in my class does have, yeah, scoliosis. So it can give you a different experience of the stretch. For 2, and 1, and come back to center. Okay, guys, nice job. Let's take that foam roller, and then we're going to put it down in front of us. We're going to cross the mat. And then, guys, let's take that left foot and put it on top of the foam roller. Apply pressure from your foot into the foam roller, and then just gently rock it forwards and backwards. Just feel that pressure, and then you can kind of tilt your pinky toe up and come to center, and then tilt that big toe up. Yeah, so just give yourself a foot massage here, and just enjoy that sensation. And breathe. Yeah, when I, back to the scoliosis and the side body stretches, I used to do a lot of hot yoga, and that was one of the stretches that we would do. And, you know, with the heat and my muscles were all loose and it felt so good, and I would just really enjoy that stretch a lot. And then I noticed that after I did that, or after yoga classes, sometimes I'd have to put my back brace on. I was like, why is this happening? I should be feeling fabulous after that. And then I isolated it, and it was that particular stretch that caused me discomfort later. All right, guys, pause, and then let's open those arms to a T, and lift and tap, and lift and tap. Again, just a little bit of balance work. Good. Maybe this is all you want. If you want a little bit more, guys, place that foot flat and keep it flat, and then come on to those right tippy toes. Yeah. And notice how this balance challenge has increased just because that left foot is on an unstable surface. What? And we have decreased the base from which we are stabilizing from. In other words, we're on half or a third of the foot instead of the entire foot. Whoa, with that heel raised. Yeah, you guys look awesome. Plus, we're getting fabulous calves. For 2 and 1 and lower down. Yeah, well done. Let's take both feet, step down. And notice if one foot, the sole of one foot feels a little different than the other. It does for me. I feel like I had a nice foot massage. So let's balance that out. And we'll place the right foot onto the foam roller and then begin to roll it forwards and backwards, just giving the soles of the feet some love. Yeah. Feels really good, doesn't it? This is one time when I appreciate having a really hard foam roller. I imagine it would feel nice with a softer foam roller, but yeah, it's just interesting. The different densities of foam rollers can create a different experience. All right, guys, and then let's find stillness. Open those arms to a T and lift and tap, and lift and tap. And again, maybe that's all you want. If you want a little bit more, place that foot flat, and then let's lift the left heel, coming into that balance challenge, and breathe. Looking good. By the way, if anyone's doing this and you're like, oh, this is easy peasy, mac and cheesy, if it's safe, you can just begin to roll that foot forwards a little and backwards a little bit, just inviting a little bit of movement. But it's really interesting to me because you guys look more solid on this side. I also feel more solid on this side. And again, it just goes to show how quickly our body responds when we challenge the balance. For 2 and 1, and come back to center. Nice job, guys. Next, let's take that foam roller and take a step in front of it. And then we are going to have a seat on the foam roller and place the hands back behind us. So let's go ahead and do that. And arms back behind. Okay. And then roll forwards and backwards over that booty area. And then begin to allow those knees to drop over to one side, up to center, over to the other side, and continue. Looking good. Just taking that derriere massage. Ooh, yeah, this area is a little sore too after Wednesday's workout. Feels really good. Yeah, just giving that back body some love. Notice if there's any clumps, and if there are, if you spend time right on top of them, but kind of moving your body over them, so you're inviting a little bit of movement in, but you're still targeting that one particular area. Doing that, you might begin to feel a little bit of a release, where that spot that zings, kind of when you roll over it, might begin to zing a little less. That actually just happened for me as I was demoing that. That's pretty cool. And also, when I first started rolling it, it would like make a really big clunk clunk, and now it's not. So this is, yeah, again, fascinating. I mean, a lot of times I feel like we think, oh, exercise, particularly if someone is out of the routine of exercising, it just seems like this overwhelming thing that, you know, you have to do forever before you see results. But I mean, I've seen results in this class twice today, so that's really cool. All right, and then just massaging and massaging. If you were hanging out on one side, go ahead and switch sides. We'll spend just a little more time here before we add on. Whew. And breathe. Looking good. Happy to see all my Pilates pals with me this morning. Looks like it's a beautiful day in New Hampshire. I know that it's a beautiful day in Southern California because I can see outside and it's gorgeous. All right, guys. And then let's find stillness. Take a little step back with those hands. And then if it feels good for you, bring one knee into tabletop and maybe also bring the other knee into tabletop. So you have increased the amount of pressure between your bum and the foam roller, and then you can wag those knees from side to side if you wish, if that feels good. And then maybe gently roll forwards and backwards, albeit a little bit less of a forwards and backwards since we don't have those feet down. Although certainly if you prefer to have those feet down, that's an option. Yep, so just giving different variations here. Ooh, and breathe. So we can spend a lot of time on this glute area because glutes get really tight, particularly when the muscles attach. And so you might be feeling that particular area quite a bit. And so tight glutes can cause back pain, and there's kind of a, not a trickle effect, but a ripple effect where when a muscle group is tight, it kind of, I want to say segues to other muscle groups. That's not the correct word. Radiates, that's not correct either. Come on, coffee, kick in. What's the word I'm thinking of? Affects. It also affects other groups. We'll just leave it at that. All right, for 2 and 1. Okay, let's lift those hips and kind of crab walk yourself and then place the booty down onto the mat and have the foam roller under the thighs. And then guys, let's lift those hips and begin to roll forwards and backwards on those thighs. If you wish, you can separate those legs and kind of move them around and roll forwards and backwards. You can shimmy those toes from side to side. You can keep those feet together and tick-tock those legs from side to side. So just make this meaningful for you. The only rule here, guys, is we want to avoid the backs of the knees. There are pressure points back there which we do not want to mess with. By the way, that's true particularly if anybody is pregnant. Also, guys, if your fists are beginning to, or your wrists are beginning to bother you, you can come onto what we call gorilla fists. That is an option, and it will make those wrists more straight as your hands are behind you, supporting you. Man, this feels fabulous. I know I say this every Friday, but I really look forward to Foam Roll Friday. Whew, okay, switching gears. Let's lower that booty down and then take that foam roller and put it under the calves. Okay, so from here, you can do any of those previous leg movements. You can even just like move that foam roller underneath you and move those calves over the foam roller. So that's an option. If you want more, guys, you can lift your hips and roll forwards and backwards on that calf area, if that feels good. If you want a little more, you can cross one ankle over the other and apply pressure from that top leg into the foam roller. So I'll give you time to roll on one leg if that feels good for you, and I'll give you enough time to do on the other. So just, again, make this meaningful for you. And depending on the density of your foam roller, different moves might feel better than if you have a foam roller with a different density. Yeah. And breathe. And by the way, if it's not comfortable for you to lift your hips, you can still get a fabulous calf massage by keeping that booty down. Ooh, quite good. All right, guys, if you're massaging one side, let's switch and begin to massage the other side. Looking good. Loving it. Loving the variations that I'm seeing. Woo. On one of those little zinger spots again. So same thing applies if you hang out on it a little bit. You might begin to feel a release. Okay, I feel like we could do this for a long. Each body part, I'm like, oh, we can stay here for the whole hour. But there's other areas to focus on. So let's take the foam roller, guys. We're going to place it. So we'll bend the knees, foam roller between the heels and the tush, and then let's lie back onto the ground. So lie back, and then for this next sequence, guys, I want you to keep your head down. That is important. Anytime we lift the hips, which we will in a moment, I want the head down. So keeping the head down, take an inhale, exhale, lift the hips, and then roll that foam roller just below the waist. So your hips are securely resting on the foam roller. Yeah, looking good. And then one knee into tabletop, other knee into tabletop. If this is bothersome for your back, guys, you can bring those knees a little closer towards your face. That's always an option. Or you can keep those feet down. All right, guys, and then let's begin to bring those knees over to the right. Just hang out here for a moment. Both knees over to the right. That left booty cheek is completely off the foam roller. Notice if that left shoulder has lifted. If it has, see if you can put it down. Open those arms to a T and just feel that really terrific side body stretch. With that constant pressure on the outside of the right hip and thigh area. And breathe. For 3 and 2. And then let's come to center and then drop those knees over to the left. Ooh, wow. Really targeted a sensitive spot on the left. And then opening those arms to a T. And breathe. For 3 and 2 and 1, come to center, and then let's just begin to shimmy and rock back and forth, just massaging that lower back area, glute area. You guys are really cute. Loving all those knees and feet, and I'm seeing rocking from side to side. All right, and then let's pause, lower those feet down. Lift the hips just a little and roll the foam roller down, just about an inch or so. So we're changing the point of contact between the booty and the foam roller. And then this time you might need to hold on to the foam roller to ensure that it doesn't shoot away. And then let's bring those knees back into tabletop and gently begin to rock from side to side. Just massaging out a different area of muscles. Woo. Breathing. Looking good. For 3 and 2 and 1. Come to center. Let's take those legs up towards the ceiling, guys, and flex and point those toes. Feeling that terrific calf stretch. and that ankle mobility. And then let's make ankle circles in one direction. And pause and ankle circles in the other direction. Notice how you're also feeling that little muscle in the shin area waking up. Woo. For 2 and 1, and then one final time, guys. Bend those knees. Let's gently rock from side to side. Again, I feel like I could spend the whole session right here. But again, yet there are other things to do. Okay, so let's lower the feet, lift the hips, and just roller to the side, guys. And then let's press ourselves up to a seated position. Well done. Or roll up, yeah, that works too. And we'll take the foam roller and place it behind us, going across the mat. And then we'll lean back onto it at about prostrate level. Knees bent, feet flat, and place the fingertips behind the head. Lift the hips and begin to roll forwards and backwards over that foam roller. Yeah, looking good. So we're avoiding the waist area, guys. So we're staying on the area where there are ribs. Oh, I bought a really cute skeleton onesie for Halloween, which I thought would be super fun to teach Pilates in on Halloween and for these Zoom classes sometimes. And I haven't received it yet. That's kind of a bummer because Halloween is in 2 days. I also bought one, a onesie, like a bodysuit, that is all of the muscles, which is really interesting. So I thought that might be fun to teach Pilates in too. So I could show you literally the muscles that you're working and what they look like. Thought that would be fun. Huh, I hope they arrive. All right, guys. If you wish, you can roll to one side, bringing both shoulders so they're pointing maybe to the right or to the left, rolling out a bit more of the side of your back as opposed to up and down the center. You can hang out in that shoulder area, and with those elbows pivoted to one side, you can get into that area a little differently. So I'll give you time to roll one side and then we'll roll the other side. All right, guys, if you're rolling out one side, let's pause and roll out the other side. Feels so fabulous. Just about 10 more seconds here before we move on. All right, guys. Again, I feel like I could hang out here for the whole session, but let's go ahead and lower the booty. And then, guys, we'll take this foam roller and we'll place it behind us, long like a tail. And then place the hands down onto the mat on either side of the foam roller. Lift those hips and sort of crab walk yourself and lower that booty on the very, very front end of the foam roller. If there's a different way you'd prefer to get on, that's fine. All right, guys, and then let's lie back onto the foam roller. When you're down, guys, make sure that your entire backside is supported all the way from your booty to your head. So I don't want the booty hanging off. I also do not want the head hanging off. And then let's begin to rock from side to side. And then as you're doing this, Lisa, is everything okay? Okay. As you're doing this, begin to roll all the way to the right and then all the way over to the left. Yep, so just increase your range of motion. You can use your hands to help you balance. So roll so much that you're almost going to fall off, but not quite. Oh. And notice again how you're targeting the back, the muscles in the back, and the shoulders, and even that booty area. before, but now we're massaging those muscles in a slightly different way from different people, so that's kind of cool. And then guys, the next time you're all the way over to the right, stay over there and just focus on that right side of the spine. And just notice how that feels. And you can flop your knees down if that makes sense for you. Yeah, so just move your body freely. The studio where I'm teaching from Core Town Pilates in Rancho Mission Viejo. And there's a fan in the studio, and the brand name is Big Ass Fan, and it is huge. So I'm looking up at this enormous fan. It's really effective. It's when it's on, it makes you feel like you're in a wind tunnel. All right, guys, and then let's come to center, and then roll all the way over to the other side, and then we'll spend a little time just rolling on this particular area. Wow. Yeah, tender spot that I felt before in a different version. I can see her. And that's always interesting to know when there's like a new tight spot or sore spot, particularly if it's on one side of the body. For 3, and 2, and 1, and then center, guys. So you're just lying on the foam roller, and the foam roller is going up and down the length of your spine. And then just allow those shoulders to melt down. So coming into that posture correcting position, and just hang out here, allowing gravity to pull those shoulders down and around the foam roller. And then guys, as we're doing this, let's take those arms and pivot, keep the hands down onto the mat, but pivot those palms so they're facing up, and then walk those arms straight-ish, more on the straight side than the bent side, although that's kind of a lofty ideal, but just know that's where you're headed. And then walk those elbows in so they're close to the foam roller, pinkies in close to the foam roller. And notice how this increases that heart opening sensation. If you wish, guys, you can keep those legs long if that feels better for you today. Whatever feels nice for you. But just bringing those pinkies closer to the foam roller, under the hips, and encouraging those shoulders to release and relax. I know I said arms straight, but go ahead and let those arms relax. Just focus on trying to get those pinkies closer to the foam roller. And just breathe. Maybe begin to think about a few things that you are grateful for. I often joke that I could put us on the foam roller like this in the beginning of class and keep us here for the entire hour. And I'm doing my job as a Pilates instructor because this is such a good posture correcting passive, allowing gravity to pull those shoulders down. Way to spend time. Undoing that hours of leaning forward over our pets, over our steering wheel, over our screens. All right, guys, and then let's open the arms to a T, fingertips facing up towards the ceiling. Let's walk those feet up so their legs are straight and walk those feet together. And breathe again, allowing those shoulders to melt down and around that foam roller. Maybe you feel like the statue overlooking Brazil. All right, and then let's add a little more movement in. So, and it might be helpful to separate those feet a little bit for this. The nearer the feet are to each other, the greater the balance challenge. Let's sweep those arms up overhead. meaning on the mat. So if you were standing, you'd be, so you're straight like a pencil. And then open those arms to a T and bring those hands down, fingertips down towards the foam roller. In other words, it's like we're making snow angels with our arms. And notice that range of motion, trying to keep those shoulders down and around the foam roller the whole time. And then let's open to a T, guys, and just focus on the upper portion of this movement. So opening to a T and then reaching those arms overhead. Doing it again. Feeling that terrific shoulder massage. Whew. For 2. And 1. Open those arms to a T. Let's bend those knees, placing those feet flat, wherever feels nice for you. And then we'll do some work with the arms up towards the ceiling. So let's reach those arms up to the ceiling, knees bent, feet flat, and then reach those arms overhead, and then up to the ceiling and down to the hips, and continue. So now we're making rainbow arcs. Pivot those palms so they're facing each other. Allowing those shoulders to melt into the foam roller. The next time those arms are up towards the ceiling, pause. Imagine someone's lifting those fingertips up towards the ceiling, and then release and do it again. Keep those arms straight, guys. And we're coming into protraction and retraction of the shoulders. Woo! And the next time those fingertips are up towards the ceiling, pause. And then let's reach one arm overhead, other hand down to the hip, both arms up to the ceiling, and switch and continue. Trying to keep those shoulders slightly in the more up position, still lying flat on the foam roller, but doing the opposite of allowing the shoulders to melt around the foam roller. And just notice how this feels. Begin to apply a gentle pressure from the base of your skull into the foam roller. Yeah, so what we're doing here is, one thing we're doing here is trying to facilitate that more correct postural alignment with the head, with the ears over the shoulder. So the gentle pressure that we're applying into the foam roller is just recruiting those muscles to make that ears over the shoulder a little more comfortable. Next time those arms are up towards the ceiling, pause, and then hug the foam roller with the shoulder blades, keeping the arms straight. So you're applying pressure from your backs of the shoulders into the foam roller, and then from this vantage point, let's begin to come into those alternating rainbow arcs. And notice how that feels different. And then allow the head to rest heavy into the foam roller, different than pressing the head into the foam roller. But see if you can encourage that head to relax into the foam roller to a greater degree. Ah, feels so good. All right, guys, for 3 and 2 and 1. Reach both arms up to the ceiling. Pivot those palms away from you, and then drop those elbows down into a goalpost position, arms bent in a 90-degree angle, and lift and lower. Maybe tap the mat with those elbows if that's available to you. Again, begin to apply a gentle pressure from the base of the skull into the foam roller. Breathing, really doing wonders for our posture here for this exercise sequence. Or perhaps more of a movement sequence would be a more correct term. Although maybe you're feeling a little muscular fatigue. Definitely feeling my muscles going like, hey, okay, we're doing something. All right, guys, for 2 and 1. Let's lower those elbows down and lower those feels good for you. And then guys, let's bring one knee into tabletop, put it down. Other knee into tabletop, put it down. Continue alternating from side to side, coming into a march. If you want more, guys, rather than starting from your feet in the down position and lifting one foot, you can come into, actually not even, but you can come into a tabletop with both knees in tabletop and then lower one foot and then bring both knees into tabletop and lower the other foot. So if that feels good to you, you'll get a little more abdominal work into the situation. If that doesn't feel good to you, then just chill out and march. Although if you're chilling out and marching, guys, see if you can still recruit that lower abdominal area and oblique work as you're going through this range of motion. Whew. All right, guys. Then I'm going to keep for this, but I'm not going to do it. The next time you have a knee in tabletop, keep it there. Also bring your other knee into tabletop. Oh, I know, I'll keep this differently. Sorry, I'm getting all flustered in my shoes. So let's start with one foot down. So one foot down, one knee is in tabletop. And then guys, maybe begin to hover those fingertips above the mat. Coming into a balance challenge, so you're just balancing on the one foot that's on the mat. By the way, if you're on a hard surface, this will be more challenging than if you're on a softer foam roller on a softer surface. Breathing. And then guys, let's place that foot down and the hands down. Bring the other knee into tabletop and then hover those fingertips. Whew. Notice if you're feeling any little muscles stabilizing, shaking, waking up to keep you balanced. That's a good thing. All right, guys. And then lower both feet down and lower both arms down. All right. Then, if you wish, you can hover those fingertips and begin marching. So lifting one knee and then putting that foot down and the other. And notice how in inviting this movement in, perhaps this is more challenging than just taking a static hold with one knee lifted. Good. So you're welcome to continue with this. If you want a different experience, guys, go ahead and place those hands down. Bring one knee into tabletop and the other knee into tabletop, and then maybe begin to hover those fingertips. So just coming into like a full balance challenge. People ask me, can you do this? The answer is no. I can do it, but it's quite a lofty ideal. But in practicing, that's where the benefit is. Yep, so lots of options here to challenge that balance. Or you can even put your feet down and roll from side to side. We'll hang out here just for about 20 more seconds before we move on. Oh my gosh, you guys, this class is flying by. We have 5 minutes left. All right, and then lower those feet down, and then just take a quick moment here, and just before I pull you off of the foam roller, just move freely. All right, for 2 and 1. Okay, guys, you're lying flat. I want you to continue to lie flat, but just gently roll to the side of the foam roller and remove it from underneath you, setting it to the side. And then keep those legs long. Just rest those arms on the mat. And notice how you feel. So usually when we come off of the foam roller, after lying it in the manner that we were, it feels amazing. So just take a moment and enjoy that. All right, there are other things to do though. So let's hug the knees into the chest. And begin to roll forwards and backwards, if that feels good for you, or side to side. And then, however you wish, guys, guys, if you're rolling forwards and backwards and forwards and backwards, roll yourself all the way up to a seated position or come up to a seated position in another way. Really good. Okay, guys, then let's take that foam roller again. We're going to put it across the mat, and then coming on to all fours, we're going to drape our thighs over the foam roller and come down to our hands. You can come down to your elbows too, so whatever feels best for you. And then let's begin to roll forwards and backwards, and forwards and backwards. I'm going to throw out a lot of options, and you can just stick with what feels good for you. So maybe you'd like to bend those knees. Maybe you'd like to pause and wag those feet from side to side. Maybe you'd like to wag those feet to the right and then straighten them, bring them to the left, and kind of make a circular motion. And then while you're doing this, you can roll forwards and backwards. You can find a spot that's pretty sensitive, hang out on that spot, and then bend and straighten those legs. You can place your hands down and then roll forward and back, coming into a little bit of spinal extension if that feels good. And breathe. So you guys get to see the syntax guy. We're having our Friday towels delivered. And breathe. Woo, this feels so good. Kind of hurts a little. And again, if you find one of those zinger spots, if you hang out on it, just kind of move your body over it, you might begin to feel a bit of a release. Seriously, you guys, this class flew by. Woo. You're going to be on YouTube. For 3, and 2, and 1. Okay, guys, just for fun, let's lower those toes down. Legs are straight. And then let's press ourselves up into an upright push-up position. You do not need to move this or twist. I just am to show you what I'm doing. And because, you know, planks are awesome. So we'll hang out here just for a moment. Maybe rock forwards and backwards. Feeling that stretch in that calf area. Woo. And breathe for 3, and 2, and 1. And then let's just kind of kick that foam roller to the side and lower those knees down. Okay, good job. Okay, so lowering those knees down, my foam roller rolled away, let me grab it really quick. Let's take that foam roller, guys, and we'll place it in front of us. Our hands on the foam roller. And then we'll kick the left leg long behind, reach that right arm forward. This is a terrific core strengthening exercise. If you want a little more, guys, you can begin to take that foam roller. Adding a balance challenge, roll it forwards and backwards, inviting a little bit of movement in. Looking good. You guys look way more graceful than I did a moment ago. For 3, and 2, and 1. Come back to center. Well done. Let's kick the other leg out long and the other arm out long and begin to roll forwards and backwards, maybe, or not. Breathing. Oh, syntax guy. By the way, sorry, I don't hear you. We need more of the spray.
Spray?
Yeah. Okay.
You have a few bottles here to have a lot.
Yeah, but all of our backup is.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it. All right, guys, for 3, and 2, and 1, and come back to center. Okay, nice job, guys. Sadly, all good things come to an end. Let's take the foam roller, put it to the side, and come up to a standing position. Really well done. Let's swing those arms from side to side. Woo. For 2, and 1, and center, and then let's reach those arms overhead. Drop those shoulders, curl those fingertips over, tuck the chin to the chest, roll down vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get down to the bottom, nod your head, heck yes, I feel amazing. Shake your head, no, no, no. And then let's just gently release those arms and the shoulder sockets and make circles. And then circles in the other direction. And then pause, softness in the knees. Head is heavy, roll up vertebrae by vertebrae. Whew, coming all the way up. And then guys, let's bring those shoulders up, back and down, up, back and down. And one more time, up, back and down. You guys did a fabulous job today. Thank you so much for joining me. If you're with me on YouTube, thanks for finding me. Please like, comment nicely, and subscribe. Hope you guys have a fabulous weekend.